You're the white rabbit.
Yeah,
I am absolutely the white rabbit.
I have to talk about episode 6, So Blown Away by It. How did the idea come about to do this episode that goes into the backstories of Rabbit and Lady?
We live in this hyper-stimulated world, right? We're just inundated with text messages, emails, sights, sounds. It's like a kaleidoscope. If our lives are a kaleidoscope of sounds and images that we're forming a narrative around, that kaleidoscope has been driven into overdrive because of smartphones and Wi-Fi. And Devil May Cry in and of itself is very maximalist as well, right? It's loud, it's brash, it's cocky, and I wanted to capture that in the show, which is episodes 1 through 5, 7, and 8. So with episode 6, I wanted to subvert all of that and go quiet. Turn down the volume. Turn down the dialogue, so we only have like 3 lines. Also, the structure of the show is that of like it's an action movie. It's an action blockbuster from 1998 to 2003. Right? It's Mission Impossible 2, it's Underworld, it's Bad Boys, it's The Matrix. But one of the things I found when I was, again, I'm a huge fan of that genre, the Hollywood blockbuster. It was one of the reasons I wanted to be in the movie business. But one of the things I found when I would watch those movies is the villain, was not necessarily one note, but that didn't really reflect my experience of life, where I found that everyone is the hero of their own story. Everyone, even the villain. The villain has a story going on in their head in which they are the hero, and they are sometimes a victim, sometimes not, whatever, but they are the hero. And I'm like, why don't these blockbusters ever kind of explore that? And I didn't want you to immediately dive in and go, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the magic trick. We are now going to find out about the backstory of the White Rabbit and make you care. But, it was a process of, I'm going to slowly reveal to you this story of this hurt kid. And by the end of it, I want you to understand that the biggest enemy in your life is also a hurt kid, just like you.
I'm gonna cry, yeah. Hold! That was my special place, was getting into that sort of episode. But I think that was always there with Lady. That vulnerability and that emotional space was always there, even if it's masked behind this incredible force. It's like this armor, right, that we put on ourselves through our journey of life to protect ourselves. We become these really stone people. Adi said it before. It's kind of like, your childhood, your childhood trauma. You put it at bed and you become like this adult, this robot, of yourself. And so it was really nice to finally just take it all off and play in that space and be like, wow, I am human, and I have scars, and I have things that were painful, and it was just really nice to live in that space. But it was always there. I love looking at him because he's like, you did good. You did good, kid.
Good job.
You did good, kid.
That was my favorite episode too. And
Yeah.
I'm not in it.
Dante, can you share for you, Dante's not in it, but your character is so deeply connected with both Lady and Rabbit. I'm curious, what was your reaction when you read the script for this episode for the first time? What things did you take away most?
Well, the first time I got an outline of the entire series, or the first season, and just seeing and it was very simple.
It was 40 pages.
Well, I mean, yes, but it was a simplified version of the
Yeah.
script, It was all the bullet points,
It was
basically.
a novel.
But it was so exciting. I was like, oh, and you could see the through lines, and there was so many different layers, and you could see them go through this arc. And so for
There was
me,
depth, man.
Yeah, there's so much to it. It was really cool to see.
Besides the music, I was also really struck by the art and the two distinct art styles with the two realms.
So I was born in India, in Calcutta, which if you know anything about Calcutta, if you look it up, it's lot of just rampant poverty everywhere. And this is the environment I grew up in. There was just, it was just so overwhelming, right? Because you're just kind of, anytime you go anywhere, you look out the car window and you just see kids that look like you, but they're like living in the streets. And it's so overwhelming, there's nothing anyone can do. And all I did as a kid is I asked, I'm like, why are there so many poor people? And like, no one gave me an answer. And it like really bothered me. And then as I, got to leave India and come to America, live out my dream, I kept realizing like, oh my God, I had this paralyzing guilt and I don't know where it's from. And then it became clear, it's like, oh, it's survivor's guilt. You were born in the right side. You were the part of the 0.000, whatever. You were just so lucky. You won the lottery that you got to leave. You weren't born in the slums. And then there was like a rage from that as well. Like, why isn't anyone doing anything about this? And, that emotion is what episode 6. But my memory of India was not that it was this dark place. It was this sweet place of sweet people. This happened to them. They didn't create this. They were colonized. They were strip mined. And then bad people took over. And that is what, I think the conventional choice would have been, okay, the demon world, make it like really scary and dark and Mackay, it's evil, ooh, devils, and the human world is cute and sweet. And I was like, nope. To me, it's the other way around.
Mm. You're the white rabbit.
Yeah,
I am absolutely the white rabbit.